Hello 2021, this is Amanda from 2020. It's kind of awkward talking to the future. So what I've done is I bought a bucket of frozen Chardonnay grapes from grapesforwine.com. I think I'll leave a link in the description. So for Pyment, I have wanted to make one for such a long time, like since the spring or whenever it was that I had even heard of them. But the problem I kept running into is that I didn't want to make Pyment from cheap store-bought juice. You know, like I wanted a real Pyment. I wanted grape wine. Give me the Pyment. So I waited and I was like, where are you supposed to buy grapes, concentrate, whatever this stuff is? Finally, I figured it out. If you want to purchase grapes, you have to do it in the fall. And the fall time is when all the grapes are harvested and, you know, these different companies, whatever, either super freeze them or turn them into some kind of concentrate, which I haven't been able to find a frozen concentrate, to be honest. I only found like pails, huge pails full of grapes. So this is the first time that I have ever done this. So I chose Chardonnay. I wanted a nice crisp white wine with some honey added to it. I just thought it would make a really, I don't know, floral honey flavor. I have hopes that it'll be good, but I have never fermented grapes before. I don't know, the rules are a little different. So basically when my bucket came, I threw it in the fridge for 4 days. In that time span it had, I don't know, I would say cooled down, but heated up enough because it was like frozen solid, it was a rock. And then I had to press all of the grapes myself, because I didn't buy a grape press or any kind of fruit press at all. I was like, oh, I can do this. This is easy peasy. It wasn't. Well, it was, but it took me like an hour and my arms were a bit sore after. So if you choose to go that route, I guess just look at it like you're getting a workout. It was tough. And I threw some of the grape skins back into the juice. So I didn't just ferment juice. So the grape juice alone, granted I did have solids in there as well, was 1.120. So what I did is I took a gallon of water and I took 2 pounds of honey, and then it was still about the same gravity. I changed things up a little bit here and I added about 3.5 pounds of honey, and I actually did a proper gravity reading, right? So I managed to get some of the just juice out, and I measured with the hydrometer, obviously, and got a more accurate reading, because having solids when you test can mess things up. So when I did that, now with 3.5 pounds clover honey, all of it came out to just over 5 gallons. I wanted to make sure I was a little bit over that because I knew I was gonna lose quite a bit of volume, and I want this to sit for a year. So obviously, and the reading went down to 1.114. From there, I added 2 teaspoons, tablespoons, that's a lot. 2 teaspoons of yeast nutrient, and I used D47 for this. I just poured in an entire packet of Lalvin D47. On the 24th, so the next day, I added 2 more teaspoons of nutrients. Those grapes just turn into this mass on the top, and it's so satisfying when you squish them down and you stir to help release a lot of the gas. It like foams up and it's beautiful. And then on the 25th, I actually removed the bubbler on the 3rd day because of how much it was bubbling. Like it was going insane. So I just removed the bubbler and I put a paper towel over top of it and just called it good. I was like, this is too much. So for the first 3 days, I took off the lid and stirred like twice a day. Stirred quite a lot. I waited for the foam to go down because it is just crazy. And admittedly, this has not smelled very good like that whole time. I have heard that grapes can get kind of an eggy smell, like a sulfury type scent. So it is really important to degas them. I think that is the problem. Again, I don't know a whole lot about wine grapes. Oh shit, I have to take this lid off myself. I've had Louis help me this whole time, and he's not here right now. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, this is awful. If you don't have strong man hands, this is awful. Oh my God. Wait, it worked. So here's what it looks like. Not too shabby. It's still bubbling. You can see little bubbles peeking up through the grape skin. It's pretty cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pull out a bunch of these grape skins because it's like dense. I want to be able to get through all this muck because we are getting the grape skins out of here and we're transferring to our glass carboy. I do know with wine grapes that you don't want to leave them on the skins for very long. I mean, I think it creates a different kind of profile, so it's really like up to you. But I have heard that because white wines are so fragile, like the flavor profile is so light, that leaving the skins on for too long can, like, I don't know, add sort of like a tartness to it or something. I don't really remember. Because I have to have this higher than my carboy, or to the vessel that I'm transferring to rather, I'm going to leave the 5-gallon carboy on the ground and leave this here. There's a lot. I don't have anything like sturdy enough and big enough to put this on so that you can like see everything on the table, but it's all right. You'll still see what's going on, kind of. All right, let's do this. Oh, geez. Yeah, there's a lot of solids in here. Oh boy, I knew this was gonna be a pain. Like my dirty floor? It's kind of gross in my basement. It's all good. All right, there we go. Now I got some flow. So I know one of the main things that's recommended for grapes is that, like, if you have a grape press to, I don't know, and it varies between white and red grapes. So what I almost did is I almost just, I don't know. Well, A, I almost didn't add in any grape skins. And B, I almost did the method where you ferment for 3 days and then you press all the grapes. It's been 7 days since I started this. Here's what's going down. I'm taking this. I brought it down here for a reason. I had a feeling this kind of thing would happen. I just had a feeling. The feeling was right. I'm putting this in that thing, and I am as gently as possible gonna pour this in here because there's no other way. This is a little bit crazy right now. Okay, so there's a little bit at the bottom, but I still don't have a full 5 gallons, which is crazy because I had over the 5-gallon mark on my bucket. Well, oh, duh, grape mass. Grape mass accounts for it. Okay, so I am going to kind of like warm up some water and probably add more honey. I need to test the gravity. I need to see like what's happening with this right now. Let me see if I can get it because I really want to see where this is at. I don't even know what wines like should be at. I mean, I guess it's the same as a mead, right? It's the same as a honey wine, like what the kind of readings that you want. Is this even floating? Barely. Holy moly. That tore through all of that sugar in 7 days. I guess this is 0.998. I need a paper towel. I'm gonna hit pause. Okay, we're gonna pause this. I need to fill this more. So I'm going to heat up. Shoot, how much honey should I add? I've seen recommended 7 pounds of honey for a 5-gallon Pyment with grape. That was a Riesling. I looked at a Riesling recipe. I'm gonna add another 4 pounds to this then, if that's what it needs. I'm gonna do that and I'll be right back. Oh boy. Sorry, Poofy. Oh, the floor is a mess. Oh my God. I splashed everywhere. Poofers, I need this. Thank you. I added, I think, slightly more than 3.5 pounds, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I actually counted correctly last time. It might have been under 3.5, so I added another 3.5, so it would bring it up to about 7 pounds of honey in here. And I'm using Dutch Gold's clover honey, which is really nice. Like it has a very sweet flavor to it if you haven't had it. I just went ahead and bought the 60 pound, like the 5-gallon bucket. Highly recommend that. It brings the cost of the honey per pound down to like $2 and something, which is like crazy good. Let's test this gravity now. The liquid was about down to here, so I added enough water to fill to here, as well as the honey, obviously. Yeah, 3.5 pounds of honey like barely brought it up. It's now 1.10, which I think Chardonnay does tend to be a drier wine. You know, hopefully the honey character still stands out well enough. I think it will, but then again, I've actually never had a Pyment, so I don't really know like what to compare this to. It's already at 16.5%, so this shouldn't ferment more. At least I hope it doesn't, because there's not a lot of sweetness in here. I do like a little bit of residual sugar, you know, like I don't want it to be super dry. Also, it's not like I left a ton of headspace, so I'd really like it to not ferment more. Oh, I'd really like it. All right, well, this is gonna sit for a year. And then I'm gonna bottle it, because that's what the instructions said. So from here, I'm just gonna whoosh into the present day. Hi everyone, thank you if you have stuck around thus far in this video. This Pyment has been sitting around finished, I think, since November, maybe? Was that when I started it? Oh my gosh. Anyways, this Pyment's been sitting around for a while. It took me a really long time to figure out what I wanted to do with it. And then of course with school and everything and not knowing where to put the barrel, which I finally found a spot and cleaned it, and I finally did this. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of leaves and it's been sitting on it for months now. So I really hope everything's okay in here. It's just been sitting for a very, very long time and it needs to get out. So now I'm gonna rack from here directly into my barrel, which is a bourbon barrel. And I'm hoping nothing leaks because I've had this barrel since like December and it's now the end of May going on June. Oh my God. Time. Okay. So I believe if there are leaks in a barrel that you just kind of like melt some wax, like pure beeswax to put on it, and that seals things up, which I didn't really prepare. I do have beeswax, so hopefully nothing happens. And I put it in here and everything's fine. But it's gonna sit in here for about a year. So I'm sorry when you watch this mead will not even be remotely ready yet. But this barrel I got for $50 from a local distillery. I just like went online, okay, for any of you who are like, how do I get a barrel? They're so expensive. Okay, used ones are not as expensive, and here's the deal. So, especially if you get a barrel from a distillery, they have to use fresh wood. They have to. They cannot use, they can't use the same barrels over again. They have to buy new ones every time. They sell them at a pretty good price, considering this thing was probably like $500 or something when it was made. I bought it for $50. And this is a 5-gallon. They also had 10-gallon available, and I was like, ooh, that's a lot. It's a little too much for me. But this is a bourbon barrel, so I think a Chardonnay Pyment will go really, really well in here. And I think it's gonna smooth it out, because let me tell you, this is not smooth. And I made the mistake of stabilizing before making sure that this went underwent malolactic fermentation. Now that it's stabilized, I don't want to force that. Thank you doing the most for the note. It may give a weird, I think he said a geranium type of flavor. So I'm like, I'm not about that. I am going to snag a little bit for a tasting. I have tasted this and it was very sharp, because typically when you drink a Chardonnay, it's very smooth and buttery. Thanks to malolactic fermentation. We had to like remove this last night. The barrel smells incredible. Even though I've had it sitting around for so long, it seriously smells amazing. All right, here I go, guys. Not gonna lie, I'm nervous. All of these things, this is like the most money I've ever spent on anything. I hope the barrel doesn't leak. I hope this Pyment is good. I mean, I spent like $100 on these grapes. The honey was the least expensive part. This thing's like 50 bucks. Like if things go wrong, I don't know what I'm gonna be like so much money in the hole. I mean, obviously I can reuse the barrel, but I also don't know anything about like taking barrels apart and cleaning them or like re-charring them or anything. If any of you watching are experienced with using barrels, please let me know. I'd be interested in chatting, because this is something that I would like to do more. I really want to get my hands on like a red wine barrel. I had a mead from Superstition where they aged in a used red wine barrel. I don't remember what grape strain, something I'd never heard of. And they had put it was a cherry, it's like a dark fruit medley in it. Oh my God, it was so good. It was so good. I would love to do something like that. I need to hit up more wineries and see if they happen to have a small barrel. Otherwise, I guess this fall I'll be buying some red grapes. Uh-oh, I do see a leak. I'm gonna do that before ending this video. I'm gonna see if I can repair my barrel. You just don't know if it's gonna leak until it does. I really wish this would rack faster. I just want it to be over with so that I can like take care of these cracks. The wood also like needs to swell. I mean, that's the thing. Like I should have known this was gonna happen because I waited so long to use this barrel that, you know, it probably just dried up and shrunk. So it needs to like re-moisten and like expand. I'm a noodle head. So, as you can see, it's leaking. I don't know. And I'm just gonna pour some wax in there, I guess. Wax it. If I seal this a little, that might be good, considering I need to turn this barrel. Again, this is 100% beeswax. I'm just gonna put it everywhere. Well, at some point, I'm gonna have to turn off the camera and just do this, so I might as well just do it now. Thanks for being here. Use your barrel sooner than later. Oh, God, I wanted to try it. It's like a little bit of a sweeter Chardonnay, I guess. Okay, bye. Bye. Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a little update here. So it's been a while since I racked in my barrel. You can see all my wax. And it's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I waxed the heck out of this thing. It actually worked really well, but also the wood just needed to swell back up. So I didn't lose very much wine, thankfully. You know, I mean, I lost a little bit, but it's not bad. Yeah, sealing the cracks works pretty well. I think I went a little overkill on it. I didn't need to do as much as I did. Down here is like insane, but that's where there is like bubbling right in here that you couldn't see on camera before. This was the really bad spot. But yeah, it's all good now. So we'll see you in a year. Thanks for watching.